Bergkamp. That's magnificent. He stripped it away from Tar. Henry!
It's time to go! And good morning, everyone. And as usual on a Wednesday morning, we have the wonderful Daniel. How are you, Daniel?
Yeah, not too bad, Claude. Not too bad. Just a little bit fed up of the international break, and it's only been a couple of days.
Well, that's the problem with international football. Yeah, I'm afraid for 2 weeks. And there's going to be a lot of things. Players might not come back because of the quarantine issue as well. They might not be able to play in the games. Apparently, there's a couple of players that might not play because of it, like Thomas Partey. We'll get to that later on. First of all, I haven't spoken to you since. West Ham United. What a game that was, Daniel.
Yeah, it was a game. It was Jesus Christ. Where do we start, Claude? Really, it was. Do you know what? It was one of those games where we saw the best and the worst of Arsenal this season, and it sums up our that game just summed up our season in one game, and. The first half, Claude, I'll tell you what, I have never, ever seen a much worse performance this season. That's got to be the worst Arsenal performance this season in the first half. And we couldn't do nothing, could we? Couldn't do absolutely anything. And the second half was considerably better. We did, there was a good couple of standout performers in the second half, Callum Chambers and Odegaard. I thought Lacazette had a good game as well. But you know what, Claude? I just can't get past the first half, if I'm being honest. I can't, a lot of people are saying that we got a point out of it. But you know what? I'm looking on it and it was horrendous. And I'm sorry, but we can't. Just because we came out and got a point against out of the game, we can't take nothing away from that, how poor our first half was. And, credit to West Ham. I felt a little bit sorry for West Ham because they played us off the park for about 30 minutes in that first half. And then, to come out and draw the game, I don't know whether... I don't know who would be the more happier. I guess we'd be the more happier because we got a point, but it was horrendous, Claude. And you know what? I don't even blame Arteta for that, and I blame the players. I absolutely blame the players, and the only reason I blame the players is because they come out in the second half fighting, and why didn't they do that in the first half? If we'd done that in the first half, could have been a completely different game.
Yeah, people say, why didn't we start the game like we finished, like the first, like we finished the game? But I think that's easier said than done because, to be quite honest with you, I don't think West Ham would have been sitting back like they did when they're 3-0 up. They're going to sit back, yeah. So I don't think they would have started the game like they would have started the same way. So. I don't think the only reason what I'm saying is that we come back that we had and we played well was because they just sat back as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. I don't understand this when people say why we never started the game, because even if there's no way. I don't. How can I say it? Yes, we were poor. We were very, very poor defensively and everything like that. But having said that, I don't think West Ham. People don't give credit for the way West Ham started the game as well, because they did start really brightly, and I can't. I've got to say, there is a bit of a balancing act to go with this. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm coming from, Daniel?
Yeah, they did start the game, Claude. They West Ham were, listen, they fully deserved their 3-0 lead. They absolutely fully deserved it. And maybe in the second half it's a bit poor game management on their part. But do you know what, Claude? Like I can't help but think if we had started that game better, we West Ham might have played like they did. Don't get me wrong, but the lack of fight from us, the lack of energy, honestly everything, Claude. Tell you what, Pablo Mari had his worst game in an Arsenal shirt for me as well. I didn't think he was great, but you know what, Claude? It's again the players not bothering. It's again the player, and this I've seen a lot of people, and this is where I've a lot of people are going, oh, but Arteta didn't change it after 20 minutes. Listen, come on, it's very rare that a manager changes things after 20 minutes. And listen, I'm not Arteta's biggest fan, but I actually don't think he can be blamed for the way that our team started. Because I tell you something now, and this is the thing as well. This is why I'm a little bit more critical of the players because of this result. Because the second half we did play better. Okay, yes, West Ham took their foot off the gas a little bit, but they did. The team turned up in the second half. And for me, if you can do it in the second half, why can't you do it in the first half?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, they did do that. But having said that, and I agree with you there, we did it. I'm not sure whether West Ham would have allowed us to play in that. See, when you're 3-0 down, I'm not being funny. You can only go forward, isn't it? You can only go better. You can only
not really, not with this team, Claude. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but the only thing is, I think I also think a lot of it is due, and I'll give Arsenal credit for coming back, but a lot of it is due to West Ham just tried to stay back. I think they stopped. They just wanted to hold on to the lead, and in the end.
But to be fair, Claude, they had a 3-0 lead. Like any team, it's human nature when you got a 3-0 lead to sit back. And exactly. Come on, that took a lot out of West Ham. Because let's be honest, Claude, the first half, West Ham were absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And there was a moment in the game, I can't remember whether it was the first half or the second half, but Declan Rice took the ball. He run it right through the middle of the park, like literally just you could see how hard West Ham were working. But Claude, a lot of people are glossing this over, saying that we got a point out of it. You got to give credit for the comeback. But here's the thing: we put ourselves in that position. That's what I can't get over. The fact that we put ourselves in that position. Take out the West Ham brilliant first half performance. We put ourselves in that position, and that's what I can't get over at the moment. And a lot of people saying that, saying Arteta should have changed it after 20 minutes, should have done this, should have done that. Do you know what though? Like I don't think changing it after 20 minutes would have made any difference. I actually think the players just switched off, plain and simple. For 20 to 30 minutes, the players just switched off. They couldn't get the basics right. And no manager could have changed that. Where I don't even think an experienced manager could have changed that. I just think the players just massively underperformed. Underperformed. They just didn't, they didn't know what they were doing, and it was clear to see a lot of, I've been very, very critical of Arteta for our poor form this season, but actually, I just don't think even he knew what was going on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? I don't even think
well, there is talk.
It took everyone by surprise, Claude. It took me by surprise. It really did. I was shocked, and maybe I kind of expected it, and I expected us, to have dips in games. But I tell you what, there was honestly, Claude, it was the worst performance. Not even the basics right, and that's what was worrying.
Yeah, there was a lot of criticism. One particular player I thought was very, very poor. Even was Aubameyang. I don't know what your feelings are. He really was poor. It seems to me the last couple of games. I don't know whether it was that thing. He's still got the ump about the being dropped, but he's not performing, is he?
No. Aubameyang. Listen, I've been sort of in defence of Aubameyang this season, but it's a job to know what's going on with Aubameyang, Claude, because it's kind of like going back to his Dortmund days before he joined us, and I'm just a little. Do you know what? Right, a lot of people, and I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of people are assuming that Lacazette could be the striker sold in the summer. But do you know what, Claude? I
see. I wouldn't want to sell Lacazette because I think he's got a lot of heart and a lot of still a good player. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to sell Lacazette.
Problem is, Claude, he doesn't score enough goals. He doesn't score enough goals.
I've got Kevin Campbell here. I just got Kevin on. He says it's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last. Lacazette said it afterwards, and it's not. But why? But I'd like to ask Kevin, why is it happening? Why is it? Is it a mental problem? Is it a mentality problem? I don't know, but also
do you know what it is? I think the players.
Kevin, I've also got to give credit to West Ham because the way they flew out the traps as well.
Claude, the players took the wholesale piss on Sunday. Let's be honest here. They took the wholesale piss out of Arteta, and I'd be the first to call out Arteta if he was at fault, but I don't think he was at fault for what happened on Sunday. The players took the wholesale mick out of him on Sunday because here's the thing, Claude. They turned it on after 30 minutes, and then in the second half, take away the fact that West Ham might have took their foot off the gas a little bit, but they did step up after that. And that's the thing. That's what, in my opinion, that's what makes it worse, Claude. Like if it was the whole game they'd done it, you could probably turn around and say, okay, just one of them days, it happens to the best of teams. But they turned it on in the second half, and I was watching the second half, and I was just the only thing that was going through my head is, why didn't you do this in the first half? Why didn't you start the game like this? Why does it take a halftime bollocking? Because let's be honest, that's what probably happened. Why does it take a halftime bollocking for you to come out and do that? You should do that anyway.
Yeah, I agree. So I just want to do these super chats here. First of all, Paul Bridle, thank you very much. He says, morning, Claude and Daniel. Thank you for that. And then your friend Randy Piper's come up. I agree. I don't blame Arteta. I blame Leno. Go away. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Leno's that goal for the second. Yeah, but I still read, as I said, I've heard Kevin say that on the other day, how magnificent and incredible football we played in that to come back. But something to why we didn't start like that. But then again, West Ham wouldn't be sitting back, and that allows you to play as well. So there is that as well. Whether we would,
I don't care about the comeback, Claude.
Yeah,
I don't care about the comeback. The reason why I don't care about the comeback, Claude, is because we put ourselves in that position. So what? Do you know what I mean? Just because we repaired the damage doesn't make it right. And yes, certain players' individual performances, you could probably turn around and say, listen, Callum Chambers, Odegaard and Lacazette, 3 individuals who were outstanding. But as a team, Claude, we got ourselves into that position just because we were able to come back from it. There's going to be times where we're not able to come back from it. I don't. I get why people want to praise the spirit of the team for coming back. I really do. But for me, we should never have got ourselves into that position in the first place. It was unacceptable. You know, you should never, just because you repaired the damage doesn't make the first half an hour more acceptable, because that was completely unacceptable in my opinion.
No, it
and
was
should never happen.
It was, but you know what, Daniel? Sometimes as well, as much as it was unacceptable, you've got to give credit to West Ham the way they flew out the blocks. They had a game plan that worked. They flew out the blocks, and you've got to give credit to that as well. And they're a good side. Let's not. They're not. They're no mugs. They're a good side, and that. I'm not saying they would have done it to every team, but a lot of teams they might have done that to as well. But I've got to say though, the comeback was good.
Yeah.
But of course, there's still a lot. Of things to be put right with this team. I think mentally as well. It's got to be, because that, as you say, coming out the way we did in the first 20, 35 minutes means, to me, says something that the players still are not mentally right. Daniel, I don't know if you agree with me on that. I mean,
yeah, that's the problem, Claude. That's the problem, and that's always going to be a problem until we get these players out the door with that kind of mentality. Because like that, it was kind of like they were choosing when they wanted to turn up, and we've seen that so many times, haven't we? We've seen that so many times, and it's just wrong, Claude. It really is. I
don't think Kevin's just come in with no point about. I don't think you said you don't care about it, and you don't mean you do care, but I think you put it in a different way, didn't you? You didn't mean when you said you didn't care about the comeback. Kevin
because here's the thing, right, Claude? Here's the thing. I'm glad that we got a point. I'm glad that we were able to do that. But here's the thing, like, I just look on the performance and we can't, because we got a point, because that we were able to come back and we capitalized on West Ham maybe taking the foot off the gas in the second half. But here's the thing, I can't get past the first 20 to 30 minutes of football. That's the truth of it. And because we managed to get a point out of the game means nothing to me, because we should never have put ourselves in that position to have to put up that much of a fight in the second half. We put ourselves in that position. I could sort of get it, Claude, if we played brilliantly in the first half, but West Ham still come out on top. I could sort of get that and go, okay, fair enough. It's just one of them things. But we put ourselves in that position.
Yeah.
Whether West Ham come out the blocks or not, whether West Ham, were clinical or not, we put ourselves in that position. We didn't put up enough of a fight in that 20 to 30 minutes. So the fact that we were able to come back from 3-0 down, we were only 3-0 down. And I get what you're saying about West Ham being really good in that 20 to 30 minutes. But I don't think we would have been 3-0 down if we'd have put up more of a fight. I think it would have been more of an even contest. Take nothing away from West Ham. They were a great side, and they played really well. But we wouldn't have been in that position if it wasn't for the fact that we didn't turn up in the 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I there's a lot of things I agree with you there, but there's also mixed into that. I say people say we didn't turn up, but also I think that the way West Ham that really started, I mean, you've got to give credit to that as well. GB Tech UK says, morning, Claude and Daniel. Hope you're doing well. I personally don't think Arteta is a problem. I think the players are still the issue. Well, I'm going to keep my powder dry.
Do you know the thing? Do you know the thing is, Claude?
I think the players are they the issue. I keep hearing the players that. I think it's a mixture.
I think it's.
To be honest with you.
I was just going to say, Claude. I think it's a mixture of both, because what's happening is, Claude, is that you have got a team that are inconsistent, right? And we've seen that they just turn up when they want to. They're not really bothered, with certain things. And then you've got Arteta, who again is inexperienced. And I just don't think those two things are a good fit, because you've got the players, because they know that Arteta is inexperienced. They're able to take the wholesale piss. And do you know what I mean? Like, they're able to take the wholesale piss out of Arteta because they know that he's not experienced enough to manage players like that. And I don't think he is. I honestly don't think he is. So I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah, it is a mixture.
I know there's a lot of people in the chat going to disagree with me. I know I know Kevin's probably going to disagree with me as well.
Martin Odegaard, I thought he looked. I think he's starting to come along now, isn't he? I mean, he's really he's producing it on not every game, but he's starting to show it a bit more. Real Madrid are now putting more. The thing with this one is that if he keeps improving, I think we might find that Real Madrid, the price is going to keep going up. There's quotes today that it could go up for 80 odd million. Would you sanction that if you was? Would you be happy with Arsenal paying £80 million for Martin Odegaard? Daniel?
Not for 80 million, Claude. Listen, don't get me wrong. Odegaard, I think, was really good when he come on Sunday. I think he's improving every game that we see. But and I would like to see him maybe. I'd like to see a bit more of him, between now until the end of season, just to see how consistent he can be as a player. But it's looking promising. But I'm not sure I'd pay 80 million. The reason why I wouldn't pay 80 million for him, Claude, is the fact that we're on a tight budget and there's at least 6 or 7 players that need to come into this team. And I just think it's unless you're getting a more experienced finished article, I'm not sure you can throw 80 million at a player who is still developing.
I'm not sure yet, because we've been burnt doing these sort of things before, haven't we? No, I'm not sure yet. No, I'd like to see a few more games. I think in the league, I don't think there's that because our season, as well as there's not much pressure in the league now, because I think the big pressure is now going to be in the Europa League in the next few weeks. But the league is we're not getting top 4. We're struggling. We're not even getting top 6. So I think the pressure really is off. That.
I said it though.
I like to see this guy in big games when the pressure's on. And when I mean big games, I mean like Manchester United, Man City, Liverpool, all the Chelsea, away from home as well. And if you can, how he copes with the pressure of those games, then I can probably say maybe he's worth that. But at this present moment, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for me. So,
yeah. I've said that for weeks, though, haven't I, Claude? I've said that this is, and not just the Odegaard, Claude. I want to see this whole team perform when we're under pressure, because the pressure's off in the league. Like you said, our league season, for all intents and purposes, is finished. But the Europa League, do you know what? We've got a chance, a real good chance in the Europa League. We've got the easiest of the draws, even in the semi-finals if we get there, and then we've got the easiest route to the final, out of us and Man United. Having said that, the games against Slavia Prague, I think, could be very tricky and has the potential to cause an upset if we don't apply ourselves right. But, when you look at it on paper, we've got the easiest of fixtures going forward in the Europa League. So I want to see us, I want to see this whole team, not just Odegaard. I want to see this whole team step up when the pressure's on, because we've not seen that, have we? If we're being brutally honest, we've not seen that yet. And that's what we need to see.
I agree. See if there's any comments here. Your friend Randy seems to have a lot to say for himself. What's this? Oh, he's coming another one here. Daniel, thoughts on Man United crashing out of the FA Cup?
Randy, mate, this joke's getting a little bit fucking old now, mate. This joke's as old as Arsene Wenger right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. I swear, Randy, like, you talk about them more than I do, mate. You honestly, every super chat you put in, you talk about them. Oh, jeez. I guess
they were poor, wasn't they? They were poor the other day, and
I didn't see it, to be honest, Claude. I didn't watch the game. I saw the result, but I didn't. To be honest, I didn't see it. I just
Leicester side that's crippled with injuries at the moment, and
do you know what it is, Claude? After the West Ham game, right? Yeah, after the Arsenal West Ham game, I was done with football for the day. I just wanted to just. I'd had enough, mate.
It took a lot out of it. It took a lot out of people. I mean, well, that was some game, breathtaking, wasn't it? I mean, at the end, Arsenal could have actually won it in the end. But
good for the neutral.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest. I thought it was more. It was in the end, it was more car crashed football than. I mean. 2 own goals, wasn't it? 2 own goals in our comeback.
Yeah, and we've got to take that into account as well, Claude. We've got to take that. Listen, it's luck. We did get a bit of luck as well on Sunday, and
a draw is a fair result in the end. I think a draw is a fair result. You can't.
Do you really think it's a fair result, Claude? Because I don't think we deserved anything out of that game.
Well, no.
No. The only reason I say that, right, you say a draw's a fair result, but take our Arsenal bias here. West Ham should have had that game sewn up, shouldn't they? Let's be honest here, Claude. Right? Take out the fact that we're Arsenal fans. West Ham should be the more aggrieved team than us, because if I'm being honest, we didn't deserve anything out of that game. And it's just me being honest. We didn't deserve anything out of that game. A lot of people are going to say, oh, but the fight, the comeback. But, I just don't think we deserved anything out of that game.
There was another rumour going. I don't know what you think about this. Talking about the Europa League now. Going on to the Europa League, which is, I haven't talked to you about the draw, by the way. Slavia Prague in the next round.
And then Villarreal and
possible
Zagreb.
Villarreal meeting up with Mr. Emery in the semi-final, and a possible final with Manchester United. That would be interesting. Now, but going back, there was a rumor going around. I don't know if this if it's true. I heard it.
Claude, do you think? Can I ask you? Do you think we'll get United in the final?
Yeah, I think that will probably turn out.
Do you really think? Because I look at because they've got Ajax or Roma, and I tell you something now, like I don't know. Like I look at that. I think it could be, if we get to the final, and we've got to focus on ourselves here at the moment. But a lot of people are saying it's nailed on to be United. But I look at that Ajax and Roma, and United's going to get one of them in the semi-finals, and I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they cause an upset. A lot of people are nailing it on as United. United are nailed on to win it. United are nailed on to win it. But I just listen. Don't discount Roma or Ajax, whichever one gets through. Don't do because listen. Let's assume that they're going to get past Granada United. That's pretty much straightforward. But
I think I think they'll definitely get through that.
But don't discount Ajax or Roma in the semi-finals.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think Ajax could be the team I think Ajax could beat Roma, but I think the way Ajax play suit United though. There was a rumor going around like yesterday that with the racist thing that the Slavia Prague in the last round against Rangers, which was an allegation which UEFA now investigating, that they could be thrown out of the competition. And listen to this, Daniel, and it will go to the team that will take their place will be Tottenham Hotspur, who are on coefficients. So here we go. So Tottenham Hotspur could get another route. So they could be playing Arsenal in the Europa League. So I don't know what your thoughts on that, Daniel, but it's a strange one.
No, I don't think so. I'm
not sure whether they can actually throw them out of the competition, but if they do, that's what the possibilities are. Because someone was saying it's because they're the.
But Tottenham were out fair and square.
Yeah, I know that, but apparently.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But
Claude, what they're going to do.
But Claude, Tottenham are out fair and square. If anybody should take that place, it should be Rangers.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because that's why it happened to them, and it was or we should or they just forfeit the tie and we go through. It shouldn't be Tottenham shouldn't get back in because of coefficiency. They were going to do this, weren't they? With deciding the Champions League and Europa. I don't think because what happened? No, I don't know, Claude. I'm not. I thought
it was a bit too early for April the 1st, but this is what I heard yesterday. Some guy in the
yeah.
But I can't see that happening. No. Anything, I think what will happen if they do get thrown out, I think we'll just get a bye into the semi-final.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We shall see. But I don't think they'll get thrown out, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, even though it is a horrible thing that happened, I don't know whether they can prove it. I don't know whether they can prove it at all, because there's no voice, there's no sound. It's someone's word against another, even though he probably did say it, because I don't think anyone would get outraged like that over it. But when it comes to UEFA, that's what they're going to say. I've got a feeling that's what they're going to come out with.
Yeah, they might fine them. They might give them a fine,
or they'll probably just fine them like they normally do. That's like a £60,000 fine, which means nothing, doesn't it? In 60,000 fine to a football club don't mean nothing, does it really?
Yeah.
It's just it's like me throwing a fucking 5-penny piece in the middle of the road, isn't it? So come on, let's face it. Come on, yeah, let's face it.
That's why I always laugh, Claude, when people say, "Oh, football," when footballers break rules, they're like, "Oh yeah, they should just get a fine." I'm like, "Yeah, that don't mean nothing. That's just like a slap on the wrist, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just who's going to miss a fine to them doesn't mean anything. A fine of that magnitude to someone like you and I would mean everything, but a fine to them, that's why I was in favour of what Arteta done with Aubameyang in the North London derby, because it was a big game. It was everyone wants to play in the North London derby if you play for Arsenal. So that's more damaging than a fine. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, definitely. And I don't know. We shall see what happens there, mate. But it looks a good draw for Arsenal, by the way. Slavia Prague should be good. Should get through that, shouldn't we?
It's not going to be easy, Claude. I don't think it's going to be easy. And it's the sort of tie that when you look at it, on paper we should get through, but actually on the pitch it could, if we don't buck our ideas up, it could be very, very difficult for us. But you know, like having said that, we should have enough to get through. But it's whether we turn up and how we apply ourselves.
I think we've got a great opportunity to win this tournament because I don't think there's anything really left in it, really, to be honest with you. Maybe Manchester United and Ajax. I'm not.
I just think everyone's nailed on for Arsenal United final. I just don't think it's. I think there's going to be another twist in this, and I'm not so sure that United are going to get through. I honestly think Ajax or I won't discount either Ajax or Roma, whichever one gets through. It's going to be a very, very it could be very, very difficult.
Another super chat from our friend.
Big one over on the other side.
Yeah.
Coffee morning.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, Jesus Christ.
Coffee morning.
It's like welcome to the WI in this fucking place at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Jesus.
Randy White says, I say it's since nobody will, ex-Arsenal players cough are brainwashing these poor fans who can't think for themselves. No, I don't think everyone's got an opinion, and so pretty sad. No, look, we've all got an opinion. No one needs to be brainwashed by anyone. I certainly won't be brainwashed. If an ex-footballer says his opinion, that's his opinion. That's not it might not be
everybody has the right to have an opinion. Doesn't make it right or wrong.
It doesn't mean it's my opinion. It's not going to brainwash me. It might brainwash others. It won't brainwash me, that's for sure, because I don't get brainwashed by anybody. I'll listen. We'll have a chat. We'll have a drink. We'll listen. But at the end of the day, if I don't agree, I will say I don't agree with it. And that's what it's all about. If we all said the same thing, what a boring world we'd live in,
Yeah,
life would be boring.
But you know what? It is, Claude. You can't have a difference of opinion these days, mate. Do you know what I mean? You got to go with the tide, and that's the way it works. But do you know what? Do you know what I mean? Like I've got my own opinion. Everybody says their own opinion, but do you know what it is? Public when you talk to people in the public, in the majority, that they just don't like differences of opinions, and that's why I say that unless you follow the tide, your opinion's invalid. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. It shouldn't be like that. Do you know what I mean? It's not just in football as well. Not just in football, but in any kind of conversation or any kind of opinion you have, you're not allowed to say what you think these days, because it's just we live in a society like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, Static agrees with you, our moderator on it. I agree. Roma and Ajax may have something to say to try to get to the final, or even Granada. I think Granada's. I think they're not going to get anywhere. I think United will.
No.
I will brush them aside quite easily, actually, to be honest with you. I can't see it. I can't see Granada. Right. Anything else? Anyone else with comments on this? I put your chat, by the way. Daniel's chat is in, as you can see. Daniel's chat is in it's pinned in the chat. Yeah, so if you get along, give this guy.
Come on, guys! I need everybody subscribe. Everybody in the chat, please go and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. The links are there. Click on that and click on in the title as well. And everybody go and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that.
Yes, it's in the title. It's in the title. It's in the chat there. Please give them a subscribe. get Daniel's channel up and going. Well, where are we standing at the moment on your channel, Daniel?
So I'm just approaching 1,720 subscribers. So, like I say, the next milestone is 2,000. So I'm only, I think it's like 280 something off that. So.
Yes, come on,
Yeah,
guys.
I've been getting to that. I've been close to 2,000 for the last 2 months, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the next milestone. So it'd be great to hit that.
Okay, Daniel. Right, thanks a lot. I think that we've covered most of what we can talk about. I think in general, as I said, follow Daniel's channel down the Blind Gooner. It puts out a lot of good content, and I think you're just having a little break at the moment, aren't you, Daniel? Having a little break.
Yeah. So I'm having sort of like the week off, this week off. But from Sunday, I'm probably going to do I'll do a Q&A on Sunday. And then during next week, I'm going to look to restart the daily content up again. And the problem is with international breaks, it's hard to find various different types of content to do because there's not really much to talk about because international football is just so boring. This is just having a little break, and then next week is kick things off again. But do go and subscribe. There's lots of content up there as well that if you're new to the channel as well, you can check out all the previous stuff.
Good man, and exactly. So next week, you come back next Wednesday, Daniel. Yeah,
definitely, mate. Every Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, then we might have a bit more to think about the weekend ahead. Because next week when we come back to the Premier League, we will be playing Liverpool, the champions.
Liverpool.
Well, they are the champions at the moment, but they won't become May. But that would be an interesting game. They're not playing that great, so this is a big opportunity for Arsenal to do something there. And then, of course, we've got the big game, the Slavia Prague in the Europa.
Slavia Prague.
So that's going to be it'd be great to be back to doing Premier League football again. Okay, thanks a lot, Daniel. Thanks a lot, everyone in the chat. Maybe I might be back tomorrow. I don't know. I might be doing I might do the Italy Northern Ireland game. I might be doing that. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about it. I need another Italian fan to join me. So if there's an Italian fan out there, DM me, and you can join me on tomorrow to do the watch along. Otherwise, have a good week and speak to you all soon. Bye for now.